I'm Liz Burrell, and welcome to the Big Green Egg Grilling Show. Each week, it's our goal to inspire new ideas for grilling, smoking, roasting, or baking, along with tips, tricks, and of course, great cooking segments. During each show, we'll teach you how to season or flavor your cooks. We'll introduce you to new Big Green Egg accessories and how best to use them. And we'll answer questions sent to us from various social media channels and questions sent to mailbag@biggreenegg.com. So let's go ahead and get into our questions for this week. Our first question is Jake from State Farm. What are you wearing? What can I cook on the egg at 3 a.m.? Well, good question, Jake from State Farm. I'm wearing my khakis underneath my handy dandy apron here, and of course I've got my Big Green Egg shirt on. And as far as things that you can cook at 3 o'clock in the morning, I mean, if you're up that late, I would probably assume you need something greasy, so maybe some eggs, some bacon, toast some bread. That sounds pretty good to me, and a hearty food. So our second question is Jason from Minneapolis. What was the hardest thing for you to learn how to cook on the egg? That's a good question, because I think that when you're learning about the egg, it really is the ultimate cooking experience. So it's a different way of cooking, and I think it takes a little time to figure this out, and once you get it down, you've got it down. As far as the most difficult things for me to learn how to cook, I think I had a little bit of a learning curve with my brisket and pork butt, because I hadn't really done that much of it before. So I never really truly ruined one, but it definitely wasn't as juicy and moist as I wanted it to be. So it took a little time for me to figure out how to do it in a way that worked for me. Now, as far as other things go, you know, I love to create new and different things that you wouldn't normally expect on the egg. So there's a learning curve when you're teaching yourself how to do something unexpected, when everybody kind of goes to the egg as just a smoking grill. But it's not just a smoking grill. You can bake, roast, and of course grill and smoke on it. But there's so many other opportunities to cook on this egg. So let's go ahead and get into our recipe for today. So for today's recipe, we are going to be doing a steakhouse seasoned meatball along with some sweet and smoky baked fries. So our ingredients today for our meatballs are going to be 1 package of ground beef, 92% lean and 8% fat, 1 tablespoon of Big Green Egg Steakhouse seasoning. You can use more if you want more flavor, that's up to you. 2 tablespoons of parsley, and that's just for topping at the end to make it pretty. 1/3 of a cup grated Parmesan cheese and extra virgin olive oil to put on our cast iron griddle. We are actually using the plancha side today, and we're going to be cooking indirect at 400 degrees with that cast iron plancha. Next, we have our tzatziki sauce, which I've already made. It's better to do ahead of time. We're going to be using 1.5 cups of whole fat plain Greek yogurt, 3/4 of a cup of grated cucumber, 2 tablespoons fresh chopped dill, 2 cloves of garlic finely minced or grated, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt to taste, and 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. For our sweet and smoky baked fries, we're going to be using 2 russet potatoes with the skin on, cut into lengthwise strips because they are French fries. 1 quart of water, 2 tablespoons of Big Green Egg sweet and smoky seasoning, salt to taste, and 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Now, these are going to take a little bit longer to cook, so we're going to put those on first. We're looking about 35 to 40 minutes on our French fries and about 20 minutes on our meatballs. Now, where the water comes into play with the fries, we need to soak the French fries for at least 30 minutes and then let them dry. We want to get all of the starch out, otherwise we won't get that nice crispy golden exterior on our fries. So these have been dried and soaked. So we're gonna go ahead and put them in our big green egg roasting pan. And then we're gonna take our 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Give that a nice coat. Now we're gonna do the French fries first because we don't want any cross-contamination with the meat. Now an interesting tidbit about French fries is they're not actually French. I grew up in Belgium and they were actually invented in Belgium. Now half of Belgium speaks French, the other speaks Flemish, so of course when people went over they automatically assumed that, you know, they're French fries. But they were invented in Belgium. They actually started as fried sardines. They would go fishing and fry them up, and then they ran out of that, so they started to do it with potatoes. So we're gonna season with a little bit of salt here. Kosher salt, we know that I love kosher salt. And then we're gonna take our sweet and smoky seasoning. Give it a little sprinkling here. All right. Now we are going to toss again and make sure that everything's coated. If you need to add more, that's fine. They look beautiful. Now we want to arrange them. You don't want them on top of each other, otherwise they're going to steam because obviously potatoes still hold a lot of moisture. So arrange them, make sure that each one is flat. And I'm just going to add a little bit more olive oil here on top. All right, now we are going to put these on the egg. And please make sure to burp your egg. You can see all the smoke coming out. You don't want any heat flying out at you. All right, so we're going to put our fries on one side. All right, now we're going to get into our meatballs. So I've got my ground beef here. And I'm going to add my Parmesan cheese and our Steakhouse seasoning. Perfect. Now we're going to mix it until it's uniform. And we're going to roll these into about an inch meatballs. If you want to do them bigger than that, that's perfectly fine, or smaller. Of course, if the bigger they are, the longer they're going to take to cook. We're also going to make sure to check the internal temperature of this because we are going to want it to be about 140 degrees internal temperature. And they will keep cooking once they come off the egg. Now, if you like your meatballs a little bit more red in the middle, that's fine, then change the internal temperature. Okay, so we will get to rolling our meatballs here. Okay, so we are finished here with our meatballs. We are going to throw these on the egg and let them cook until that internal temperature has hit our desired number. All right, so let's go ahead and open our egg. French fries are sizzling, that's a good sign. We're going to take our olive oil onto our plancha and start popping these beautiful meatballs on the grill. I think that's one of my favorite sounds, is that sizzle. You just can't go wrong with that. It means that you know you're making something that's delicious. Perfect. Now we're gonna wait about 20 minutes. We're gonna check on these. We're gonna flip our meatballs a few times to make sure that all of the sides get cooked evenly, and we're also gonna make sure that we flip our French fries. So now let's get on to our expert tip of the week. It is time for our tips from the experts, but first we are going to pull off our meatballs because they are done and beautifully browned. And then we're gonna let our French fries cook for just a little bit longer. Like I said, they take longer than the meatballs, so you wanna make sure that you put those on while you are making your meatball mixture. Give it a little bit of extra time to cook. Perfect. All right. So today we're going to talk about what to do if your egg gets too hot and jumps up while you are cooking. Now there are a few ways to adjust your temperature on the egg, and they're very easy and very user-friendly. So first, we've got the bottom draft door, and that's where all the oxygen is being pulled into the fire. So that is going to be our larger increments of temperature to mess with for the egg. So we're going to go, say you want to do 100 degrees. You're going to open that further to get it hotter, or you're going to close it to get it lower. Then we've got our regulator. This is going to be used for smaller increments, your 10, 25, 50 degree increments, and you just want to open and close that depending on how hot your egg is. Now, if your egg gets too hot, I would shut both of them down, but leave a sliver at the top so that there is still a way for that hot air to escape. Now, if you're really desperate, you can take a pizza stone or put your convector inside the egg to soak up some of that heat and then remove it once you get to your desired temperature. But we still want to make sure that we're adjusting our regulator and our draft door. All right, so that is our tips from the experts today. Now let's check on our cook. All right, so it's time to take our beautiful sweet and smoky baked French fries off of our egg. They look great. Beautiful French fries. Check them out. They look wonderful. Okay, so let's pick out some of the ones that we like. I'm going to put them on our plate here. Some of them broke apart. That's kind of normal. I mean, they taste the same. What does it matter? Still delicious. These are going to taste so good dipped in our tzatziki sauce. So will the meatballs. I'm excited to eat this, and you should be excited to try it at home. All right, beautiful. Now we are going to take our fresh tzatziki sauce here, and we're going to put it in this cup for dipping or scooping or spooning or whatever, what have you. Want a pretty hefty amount, because believe me, once you try this, you're going to want to eat the entire cup. All right, beautiful. Now, I've got some fresh cucumbers here, and we are just going to put them on the side of our plate, kind of like little cucumber chips. All right, and now, have to have that little bit of parsley, right? Just to give it a little extra zap, little something fun. All right, so there you have it. My beautiful steakhouse seasoned meatballs with sweet and smoky baked fries and my tzatziki sauce. I hope that I've inspired you to try something new and different on your egg. If you're not an egger yet, please head to biggreenegg.com, where you can get online home delivery from a dealer in your own community. Once again, I'm Liz Burrell. Thank you for tuning in. Catch me next time when I've got something special in store for you.
There's a place where fire and flavor are celebrated. Grill it, roast it, smoke it, or bake it. It's the most versatile grill you'll ever own. Have it delivered to your door by a certified dealer in your community and start enjoying the ultimate cooking experience. Visit biggreenegg.com.